Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I am Jason. As always, my co-host, Mr. Zack Partridge, future 170-pound champ in Utah.
That's
yeah. Do you like that? How about that? I have confidence in you, Zack.
I have confidence. I have confidence in me too.
I have confidence in you, man.
I appreciate that.
I know what you do. I know the work you put in.
Oh, we're putting in a lot of work.
I don't know how your diet is, but I do know you're putting in the work in the gym.
Hey, I just sent you a picture.
You do look good. You look good, man. You look good,
baby.
I'll give it to you.
There.
You do look good.
I'm not sure I got another 27 pounds to lose, but
it's there. It's there.
Yeah, we'll suck that water right out of me if we have to. Yeah, Hunter said that. He's like, Dad, that's you're gonna be really small. And I showed him a picture of me in like high school, college of the last time I weighed 170. He's like, I don't think you could do that again. And I told him, I'm like, I promised him. I'm like, I'll make weight. I promise.
It's all diet, man. It's all diet. Well, training, obviously,
skin and bones. Me and Cole Schaefer were texting. I'm like, I'm gonna look like Connor when Connor had to make 145. It's like the skeleton.
Woo! It's gonna be good though. I'm excited. We had two really good fighter spotlight podcasts.
Man, that Cameron. I'm really excited for that fight. I think it's really interesting on that Fierce card next weekend. Having two guys with a boxing background and MMA gloves, like I'm very, very interested to see if they decide to just turn it into a boxing match with little gloves and who breaks first and feels like they're not winning the exchanges and goes for the clinch or some, kickboxing more or takedown. Like, that's a really fascinating matchup to me. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
It seems like Cameron, he's at a great camp, getting good training. He's under Roman, so he's getting really good.
He's good, yeah.
Really good work. And then you got Klesley, who's like he's training with Clay and Ryan, and I mean results speak for themselves. Clay just beat Anthony Pettis on PFL and the huge upset and got robbed of a stoppage, in my opinion. I think they should have stopped the fight, but that Fierce card. It's not the headlines like the last one, like with all the names, but it definitely has potential to be a really, really nice, really fun night of fights.
Well, I got my tickets, and I already know you don't have to have a ticket because you're going to be commentating.
Yeah, I'm already started my homework on all the fighters.
And when you're watching the pay-per-view or if you're at the fights, pay really close to the cage.
Yeah.
Real close to the cage.
And if there's some technical issues, please don't blow up my phone, guys.
Fix it, Zack. You got to fix it.
I had 800 people be like, your audio's echoing. I'm like, I don't have control over the audio. Get the phone number of the producer. I don't know. It's not me.
Yeah.
I put on a headset and talk. Like I'm not doing it.
It's not your fault. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, shout out to Cameron. Then we had Destiny on McCubbin, who unfortunately had to pull out, had emergency back surgery. Shout out to her. She seems like she's in good spirits after having her surgery and looks like she's coming back at the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean,
and she's down there training with Miesha Tate. How would you like Miesha Tate to be your training partner? It's a pretty damn good training partner.
Sign me up. Anytime you can train with a former UFC world champion, that's a good training partner. Who could I train with? Can I train with like, I don't know. I bet I could beat up Matt Hughes right now.
That's not very nice, Zack. I'm not even going to comment.
But look, only because a train hit him and did most of the work for me.
I mean, like, how cool would that be to have somebody at that level at your gym you have killers at your gym to train with too. I'm not saying you don't, but like, talk about being able to level up. Like,
yeah. Well, so it's the confidence builder too, right?
Yeah.
So I spar with, and I know I'm super biased here. I feel like one very unlucky punch and knee knocked out Jordan Smith on season 11 of The Ultimate Fighter from Brad Tavares, who, FYI has had a nice long, 15-year career in the UFC now, even longer. 12-year career in the UFC now, right? That was like 2010 when he was on The Ultimate Fighter, I think. So, Brad Tavares knocked out Jordan Smith. I feel like he doesn't get caught with that knee to the chin and get knocked out. Jordan Smith had a very good chance of winning that show. I mean, him and Court McGee trained together, and Jordan was every bit on Court's level at that point in their career. And so, when I'm being coached and spar with guys like that, Ben Moa, Joe Rodriguez, even LJ Schultz, those pros that are at our gym, when you get beat up by them, it's okay. Because when you have your little successes, then you're like, okay, if I could have little successes against these guys, like once I'm fighting guys that are like on my level, like high level amateurs or whatever, like it gives you a ton of confidence. So if you're Destiny and she's, let's be honest, Misha's bigger, right? She's fighting 135, was even contemplating 145, whatever got her to Amanda Nunes quicker. And she so she's quite a bit bigger. So I'm sure, Misha gets most of the success in their work, right?
Yeah.
But Destiny getting little successes and being like, I just got that, I just got that takedown against Misha Tate. Or I just landed that combo the way I wanted to on Misha Tate. It just makes your confidence just, I mean, you saw the clip, but I think Ben posted it. Me and Ben sparred a little bit. And I mean, he hits me way more than I hit him. But the couple times I hit him, I'm like, man, if I could do that against freaking Ben Moa, like, and then it makes my confidence just, which everybody knows I need my head bigger, folks.
Get it. And dude, speaking of training partners, how would you, after watching PFL last night, how would you like to have Kayla Harrison come by and train with you? Is she not one of the baddest women on the planet Earth right now?
No. So pound for pound, okay? I take Valentina.
Okay.
I think I put Kayla above Nunes. And that's no disrespect to Nunes at all. But Kayla Harrison's terrifying.
She's Ronda Rousey with ground and pound. Like
vicious. Violent.
Like she's
not looking just to take your arm home. She's trying to take your soul, bro.
She is unreal. And that little promo she did.
You cut that WWE promo after. Her stock went way up with that.
Oh.
That's the thing. There's so many people that can perform in the cage that just don't have it on the mic. And when you have it on the mic, that's how you start. She might be the first like legit star the PFL produces, right? You have people that, like Sean O'Connell won. He's a big name, but he came from the UFC, and Kayla Harrison's going to come up through the PFL and be the.
Can I propose a trade?
Superstar.
Sean O'Connell for Mike Bisping. Can I propose a trade for commentators? Can we put Bisping on the PFL and get Sean O'Connell on the UFC?
No.
Yes, please.
Well, I'm all for Sean O'Connell being on the UFC.
Get rid of Bisping in the UFC.
I love Sean O'Connell. He was my co-host of my last one.
I know that was pretty.
He's
good, man.
He's great. He's
freaking amazing.
Freaking
on the mic.
Professional.
Yeah.
But don't get rid of my guy Bisping. But I like Bisping.
He did.
Hey, did you watch the YouTube documentary thing that I sent to you?
Not yet.
You need to watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
It's freaking awesome.
And I will say, I did agree with him because he posted on Twitter, which I never agree with him because of, I won't get into it, but he posted something yesterday about the Floyd Mayweather and what one of the Paul brothers taking his hat, and he just went off. He's like, this is a circus. This is bull crap. Like, I side with him on that little hoopla.
I'm saying this right now. I'm telling you, the guy to go in there for MMA and fight Jake Paul and outbox him is Michael Bisping.
He won't.
He beats him with one eye. I know he won't, but with one eye, he beats him. He beats the brakes off of him.
I mean, I do appreciate what they're. I mean, I don't appreciate what they're doing. I hate it, actually.
How dare you say you appreciate it?
I don't appreciate it. I was going to say, I mean, like, hey, they're getting paid. I'm all for that. But as an enthusiast of the sport and how much I appreciate martial arts and boxing, it's like, dude, Canelo Alvarez is fighting tomorrow night. The pound per pound best boxer in the world right now, and it's not even close, is fighting tomorrow night. And
nobody knows about it.
Nobody knows. I bet you half the people listening, out of the 3 people that are listening, nobody knows. Breaking news. Like, and he's not fighting a scrub. He's fighting Billy Joe Saunders, I think it is.
Killer B.
Yeah, who's good.
He's not just good. Billy Joe Saunders is great.
Yeah. It's going to be a great fight. And
I mean, the Canelo is only a 7-1 favorite, and that looks sizable, but you should see some of the lines on some of his past few fights. He's like minus 3,000.
And then everybody's talking about is Paul taking taking his hat. Do you think it was
good?
Do you think it's staged? Do you think that was staged?
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I've heard people saying, "Oh, his bodyguards, he was hitting him for real." I think he was hitting him for real. But
yeah, but that was part of the plan.
I bet you there was a nice little check with about 5 or 6 zeros at the end of it.
Let me just break something down for you. If you're not aware, if you hit another civilian in a non-sanctioned fight, that's assault.
Especially when when his bodyguards are holding him.
That's assault. You can't. Floyd Mayweather knows he can't do that, right? He didn't just lose his cool. They're trying to build a fight.
Yeah,
they're trying to build a fight. Floyd is he's a master at it.
He's the best.
He is. He's a master at getting you to tune in to see him win or see him lose. The fun part for him now probably though is he gets to be the good guy this time. Everybody wants to see him win. This is the first time in my life I will be cheering for Floyd Mayweather and I hope he knocks him out. I hope he sleeps him. Probably won't happen. He probably just goes 8 rounds and just doesn't get touched.
I mean, is it really? It's not even really a fight. Like, it's a circus.
Conor had a better chance against Floyd Mayweather than Logan.
And I didn't even give Conor a chance. So,
but exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Paul doesn't. Yeah, I thought he was a lot bigger. He's not very much bigger than Floyd. I thought he was a lot bigger, but
Jake's the bigger one.
Yeah, Logan's going to get embarrassed. Well, I think Floyd's going to do exactly what he did with Conor. He'll let him have a few things, and he's going to come in he's going to walk in the ring with his little face mask on, his little robbery, because it's a robbery, because he's going to take all of his freaking money.
What if Floyd gets clipped?
I don't see it happening, dude.
What if he gets cocky and he doesn't shoulder roll all the way and just gets kick and just knees buckle?
At the end of the day, he's still got a big smile like Ben Askren when he's walking out the back making how many millions of dollars?
No. Very different, Jason. Floyd would be embarrassed if he
probably
got
would
clipped.
be embarrassed.
Oh yeah, Ben didn't care because he's like, I never proclaimed to even be a good boxer.
Yeah.
I just got $500K. Who cares?
Yeah, crazy. Let's before we get into the UFC card, one more thing from PFL last night. Fabricio Verdum and I didn't even get what's his last name.
You don't even know his name.
I don't even know the last guy's name. Gosh. I bet on him and I didn't even freaking Ferreira. Yeah. Ferreira. Did you think he tapped?
Yeah, he 100% tapped.
Do you think it
tapped.
altered the fight in any way? Like, do you think Verdum let up on that choke at any way?
Yes, I do.
See, I don't.
I do.
I didn't.
Maybe not even as much the choke, but the armbar, he for sure did. Because it was a triangle armbar, and he had both. And he even said, he's like, I let go. I don't want to. He tap. I don't want to break it. I've been there too. Like, dude, how many times have we watched fights where somebody taps and the ref doesn't see it, person lets go, and the person just like admits defeat, and then the ref knows, oh, they must have tapped, like they both stopped. Hey. This dickhead taps, gets let up, the ref's not there yet, and keeps punching. Dude, you lost.
I'm going to give you 2 words. Super necessary.
Yeah, but so that's what I'm saying. This guy, so what happened? So if I'm Verdum, let's say their paths meet again, because it can in PFL.
Yeah,
they can. It could happen. Let's say their paths meet again, and Verdum gets him in that situation again. That guy better pray to whatever higher being he believes in that the ref is right there, because Verdum is snapping his arm next time.
Yeah, that arm's coming home with him next time. There's definitely zero.
Unless the ref is pulling it off, he's going to go, cool, tap, ref's not here yet, yank.
Yep, 100%.
So.
Interesting night. We had Usman's brother, which I didn't like that matchup. I didn't bet it, but I just, man, that sales guy was big. When I told you, when I saw him in the weigh-in, I'm like, man, he's like twice the size of Usman's. Like, and then the heavyweights, who knows? And the guy's Polynesian too, so he could take a punch, because Usman was cracking him, and he just ate it, walked right through it. Anyways, fun night, PFL. We got Bellator tonight. Should we talk about the Bellator card tonight?
Great card.
This is one of the cards you were telling me earlier that you may have to actually pay attention to versus just keeping it on in the background or waiting till like the main event. Like
Bellator, it's fights. We see an amateur still fist, right? There's great fights, and there's great fight in this. I feel like Bellator doesn't always have the depth, right, that the UFC has. So some of the undercard, it can be a little bit underwhelming. But as long as the matchups are equal, the fights are usually pretty good.
Yeah,
competitive, right?
Yep.
There are some names on this card that I really like, Patchy Mix, great young prospect. Big on Patchy Mix. Lorenz Larkin, been around for a long time, really fun. Michael Venom Page, very exciting, very fun style to watch. Only person's ever beat him is Douglas Lima. Patricky Pitbull, Anthony Rumble Johnson finally making his comeback. And then Juan Archuleta, Sergio Pettis. Great fights. I like all the favorites in those fights. I don't really see many upsets, but I love Juan Archuleta. I love Anthony Johnson. I love Michael Venom Page.
So I
don't think any three of those lose.
So you're saying parlay the 4 main event.
I didn't put Pitbull in there because I don't know anything about his opponent.
About that Peter Queally.
And Pitbull, he's got a great record. Obviously, his brother's like probably the baddest featherweight on the planet.
Yeah.
Him or Max Holloway, in my opinion. So he has a great training partner, but he's also lost 9 times out of 32. Like it's not it's still a great record. But that Peter Queally, I don't know anything about him.
And neither one of them have fought in 2 years.
Yeah.
So it should be interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe we don't put them on the parlay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know who else is on here is that Logan Storley guy. He was the wrestler kid out of, I think, Iowa, I want to say.
Yeah, it's a stud.
Stud. He lost his last fight by split decision, but still elite wrestling. Anyways.
Great card, though.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching. Let's talk about some UFC Vegas 26, baby. Should we start from the bottom?
We always do.
Christian Aguilera versus Carlston Harris. Christian Aguilera is 14-7, 5'9" with a 72-inch reach. And our boy Carlston Harris is 15-4 record. He is 6 foot tall, and I don't have any reach here on Tapology. What do you like, Zach?
Well, I can tell you right off the bat, I definitely like Carlston Harris's. I like his record. I like where he's coming in at with a 15-4 record. He's on a pretty good run, 3-fight win streak. This is his first moment in big lights, right?
Yeah.
UAE Warriors was his earlier this year. That's that was in Abu Dhabi, right? So big deal. Good fight scene there, but I mean, and he fought a really tough guy that was 17-1. But this is his UFC debut. Christian Aguilera, tough, has a win in the UFC, has a win in LFA, which we love. Lost his last fight, but it was against Sean Brady with that one-armed guillotine choke, I think is the one that it was. I like where he's at coming up through LFA. Couple fights in the UFC. He's had some wins in the UFC. So I actually like our guy Christian Aguilera as a little bit of an underdog on this one.
Oh, you like the underdog in this one?
I do.
Do you think he's a little undersized for 170? Only 5'9".
Yeah, that's pretty little.
Yeah, he's a smaller.
He's pretty little, but man, dude, the nickname's the Beast for a reason. Like he's tough, and I remember that Sean Brady fight. They were banging, and he found some success. Sean Brady's just a fiend on the feet. Like once it goes to the ground, he's brutal, right? So, but I just experience factor here. I'm going with the experience.
It's usually plays out. The experience usually wins unless you get a high level guy coming in there with the lesser experience. I'm going to go with you because I think it's a coin flip fight. I'm going to take the odds, and I'm going to take Aguilera on this one as well.
Okay.
I like the experience. I'm with you. I'm riding with you. Next up, we have.
For the record, not betting this.
No, definitely not betting this. Next up, we have Tefon Shukui against Junyo Park. Tefon is sporting a 5-0 record, 6 foot tall with a 77-inch reach. Young Park is 12-4. He is 5'10" with a 73-inch reach. So a little bit of height and reach advantage for Tefon. What are you seeing in this one? Is this his? No, this is his second UFC fight. Tefon's.
Yeah. Tefon, he's the Dana White Contender Series guy. You know, he's a favorite, and he probably should be. He's kind of terrifying.
He's very terrifying. Scary dude.
Jamie Pickett did give him a really tough fight, and I think you picked Pickett when they fought, or you really liked Pickett's chances in an underdog, and he almost pulled it off. Just didn't quite have it. He's just, the thing is with Tefon, he's ginormous for 185.
He's
ginormous, and he's won unanimous decisions. He gets a lot of first and second round finishes, but he showed the ability to go the distance in his last fight. And I think that was something that we all needed to see. Gave me a lot of confidence. I actually feel pretty good about this one. Jung-Ho Park has quite a bit more experience. Has lost in the UFC, has won in the UFC as well. I think it's a close fight. I'm not saying Tefon's a lock when most of the time it is, because the experience, we just don't know, but he's just so strong and so physically imposing. I just don't know how he doesn't win this fight.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one too. I think he's just too much. And I kind of think the UFC's, I'm not going to say they're giving him an easy fight, because they're
trying to build him and give him the opportunities to.
Yep. I think this is a perfect matchup for him to get the W on that. So I'm riding with you on that one too. The next one, I did text you on it and told you to bet it, because I actually had the guy pick the Ryan Benoit fight, but they called it off. They couldn't even stand up on the scales. Crazy, man. They need to do something about these weight cut things.
What else can they do?
Nothing really. I mean, it really is up to the fighter, but I just think if you're having to cut that much weight in that short of a time where you can't even walk on the scale, then you didn't prepare. You're not prepared. You're not prepared. Correct. You did not do what you needed to do during your fight camp to be ready for that fight. If you can't even walk, like you had to get carried onto the scale, no.
Well, and the thing that's alarming for me with Ryan Benoit is you've been a pro for a while, dude. You've been a pro since 2009. Like, you should know better.
Yeah. But
he's been in the UFC for a long time, man.
Yeah.
He's gonna get cut.
Yeah, that's not gonna fly. And I just feel bad for his opponent, because he
doesn't get paid.
He did make the weight, and he's not gonna get paid because this idiot doesn't know how to do his camp. Anyways, next up we have Mike Trisano against Ludovic Klein. Trisano is sporting an 8-1 record. He is 5'11" with a 71-inch reach. Klein is 17-2, 5'7" with a 72-inch reach. Talk to me, Zach. Who do you like? What do you like?
Well, Klein has some good hype behind him because of his head kick and knocked out Shane Young. On the Adesanya Costa fight in his UFC debut. He's a big favorite, and 17-2 is a great record, and he had a great showing. Man. I feel like I am super biased though against those guys that were on that Ultimate Fighter season of undefeated guys. And you got to remember, Mike Trisano, he won that season.
Yeah.
He won that season by split decision versus Joe Giannetti. And then he won another split decision against Luis Pena. I didn't totally agree with it. Lost his last fight 2 years ago to Grant Dawson, who's a good UFC fighter.
No shame in that.
I really like the value that you're getting Mike Trisano at almost plus 200. I'm taking Mike Trisano, the lone wolf. He's durable. He's tough. I think it for sure, I would say almost for sure goes to a decision.
All right.
I don't think he gets stopped. He's super durable. Yeah. I'm going with Mike Trisano.
I am going to go the opposite way with you on that one. I
Good.
I'm a little worried about the 2-year layoff on that. I know he's tough, but I just don't know what we're going to get.
So we've talked about this before.
Which he could come back and he could be lights out.
What did he do during that 2 years?
We're going to find out tomorrow night.
Because I look at it as you're an undefeated fighter. He gets his first loss and he went back to the drawing board probably and tried to fill those holes, because it's like, you can't just keep doing what you're doing or else you're going to pick up losses. You got to go fill up holes, right?
Yeah.
I am kind of banking on that we're going to see a better version of Mike Trisano than we've seen. And he's pretty fundamentally and technically sound everywhere.
I don't hate it. I'm just going to disagree.
That's cool.
That's great. But it's plus 325 if you got Trisano by decision, by the way.
I love that.
If you were looking for that. Next up, we have this should be a great fight. Phil Hawes against Kyle Dawkes. Phil Hawes is 10-2, 6 foot tall with a 77.5-inch reach. Dawkes is 10-1, 6'3" with a 76-inch reach. So, man, this is going to be a great fight, I think.
Absolutely.
Two great up and coming. Dawkes is a Cage Warriors vet. Phil Hawes coming up from the Contender Series, Megatron. Who do you like in this one? Dawkes is the younger fighter. He's only 28 years old. Phil Hawes is 32 years old.
So I actually feel really strongly about this one.
Do I agree or do I disagree?
So I actually really like Phil Hawes in this.
Ooh, we're going to disagree again.
Okay, cool. Here's the deal.
What's
Phil Hawes? So Kyle Dawkes, right? He did lose to Brendan Allen.
No shame in that. No shame.
Of course not. Lost a unanimous decision. Won a unanimous decision in his last fight. That's great. Was winning by Darce choke, decision, Darce choke, rear naked choke, Darce choke, rear naked choke. His finishes are like, as a pro, every single one of them has been a submission. Okay? I don't think he submits Phil Hawes. Phil Hawes, Mr. Iowa State Wrestling, wrestled with our guy Cole Schaefer.
Yep.
Right? I think most people know, what shuts down really good jiu-jitsu? High-level wrestling. And I don't think Kyle Dawkes is elite jiu-jitsu to the point where he overcomes high-level wrestling. And I think that Phil carries a lot more power in his hands, where Phil has the ability to close the show with any punch. I don't see Dawkes knocking out Phil Hawes on the feet. And so on the ground, I really like Phil Hawes to kind of just smash, control, and be able to control that situation on the ground if it's there. And then if it's on the feet, I think Dukakis has good. Is it Dukakis or Dawkes?
Dawkes. I think it's, yeah.
Dawkes. He's got good. He's got good striking, but he doesn't have that punch power. And I will take Phil Hawes' power on the feet that he's displayed over and over again too. People kind of wilt at his power a little bit when they feel it. He's super impressive. 185 pounds of muscle. He can put people to sleep. He can submit you too. I think he's actually the more well-rounded fighter.
I'm literally the exact opposite. I think Dawkes will be able to counter a lot of that stuff. Phil Hawes has a tendency to gas. If you remember right, he probably should have. I mean, he was really close to losing that last fight against Chimaev. Like that was, yeah. And I think this is a 50-50 fight, just like one of the other ones we just talked about before. I think this is a 50-50 fight. Could go either way. I'm going to go with Dawkes, though. I think he's got a little bit more experience. He had a little bit longer amateur background. So I'm going to ride with it. I don't hate it.
I'm not mad.
We're not mad. It's fun to disagree. We can't always agree.
Yeah, it's nice. We've disagreed 2 fights in a row. That never happens.
We might disagree on this one too. All right. Amanda Ribas and Angela Overkill Hill. Amanda Ribas is 10-2. She is 5'3" with a 66-inch reach, and Angela Hill is 13-9, 5'3" with a 64.5-inch reach. Who do you like, Zach?
This one's tough for me.
Or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Amanda Ribas. I'm all over Amanda Ribas. I think there's a couple things that stand out to me. One, that Mackenzie Dern win, I think, is huge. Even though it was 2 years ago, I still think that's a huge win. She did lose to Marina Rodriguez, who is going to be fighting in the main event, who is a problem. No shame in that. And my other reasoning is Angela Hill's been doing a lot of commentary. She's been kind of the face of UFC commentary. Like, she's all in there. She's doing all this extra stuff. And I don't know if that's taken away from training. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I just think Rebus is the better fighter. I think she's going to eke out a super close decision.
I don't hate it.
I don't like the almost 2-1 odds though. I'm not going to lay 2-1 odds on it. I might look at the by decision prop, which is probably let's look at it. -175. I mean, that's pretty much a given. Isn't that pretty much a lock in this fight? Do you see either one of these girls finishing?
I actually kind of think this one somebody might get finished.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you going to disagree with me, Zach?
I actually think that Amanda Hebus finishes Angela Hill.
Ooh, you think she finishes her?
Yeah.
Is Rebus the bigger fighter? Does she normally fight at 115?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they're both 115.
So if you think she finishes her, Rebus by TKO would be plus 750.
I think she's really aggressive, and I like Amanda Hebus because of her aggression. I know Angela Hill's game, but at the same time, Angela Hill is very entertaining from the standpoint of, like, she's good on the mic, she talks, she's kind of fun on her social media or whatever. I feel like the girls that give her Angela Hill issues is the types like Amanda Hebus, aggressive strikers. Michelle Waterson gave her some issues. Zena Yan gave her some issues. Courtney Casey, I'm looking at her losses. Jessica Andrade, a lot of her losses, I mean, they're to good girls, really good fighters, but they're girls that bite down on their mouthpiece and come after you. And Amanda Hebus is going to bite down on her mouthpiece and come after her. And I do like Angela Hill's experience, and I do like that she trains with Dominic Cruz, and so I like where she's at. But the ultimate thing, like you said, is her commentary and things like that. I kind of feel like she's not focused on just fighting. Amanda Hebus is just focused on fighting.
Yeah,
I like the person that's just focused on fighting.
All right, we're going to agree then.
And I don't even mind those odds. Here's the other thing too. What is the odds that Amanda Hebus wins a split decision and Angela Hill and her fans freak out and said she got robbed again?
Oh, 100%. You know it's going to happen. Rebus by decision is plus 150. I don't hate that.
Oh, I
don't hate that at all.
I do like that too.
All right, next up, we'll probably agree that this one could be up there for fight of the night. We got Diego Ferreira.
Oh yeah,
17-3, 5'9" with a 74-inch reach. He's fighting Gregor Gillespie. He's 13-1, 5'7" with a 71-inch reach. Man, this fight is going to be good.
Gregor Gillespie all day for me.
I'm going to agree with you.
Well, and I'll say this: his one loss was to Kevin Lee. He got brutally knocked out. But dude, he got knocked out by a beautiful combination head kick.
And he said I just got caught. Like I didn't see it.
And it's okay.
And same
his
thing.
Mindset was like, it's okay. I got
just
caught.
like Jorge. Same thing. It was beautiful. He caught me. Like what can you say?
And Diego's a monster, though.
He is a monster,
and he's a monster on the ground. The thing that I worry about with Diego, and he's very good, he doesn't really beat those super high level guys. And I think Gregor Gillespie's like high level.
Yeah.
I think Gregor Gillespie's in the next generation of contenders in those shark infested waters at 155. I think he's somebody that eventually contends for and fights for a title. He has everything. He's got great wrestling, and he suffocates you. The other thing that I love about him, he finishes fights. Before he lost to Kevin Lee, he'd finished. He was undefeated, but he was on a 5-fight win streak of finishing fights in the first or second round. I mean, his UFC debut was the only one that went to unanimous decision. And then in his next 5, he wasn't just beating dudes; he was finishing them viciously.
Does it go to decision, or do you think he finishes him?
I don't know. Diego's a tough out. But Diego gets a lot of people, on the ground. His jiu-jitsu is very, very good. He's good striker too, but his jiu-jitsu is elite.
Yeah.
But I think that Gillespie's wrestling gets it done. And we talk about it. It's the aggressiveness of the wrestling. It's the mindset of a wrestler too. Gregor has that. He's tough as nails. We saw it. If you want to beat him, you have to completely disconnect him from consciousness.
Yeah. Yep. I'm with you. I'm all over Gillespie.
So it'll be interesting. We could both look really dumb on this though, because he could catch him. Diego's great. Like Diego's really good. He could catch him, and we don't know mentally. Gregor's saying all the right things. I'm liking everything. I like all the right body language, but you don't know until you actually see him in there. For right now, I have to believe him, and that's why I'm going with him. But we could look in there. We could look in for 60 seconds and be like, uh-oh.
Yeah, maybe we were off on that.
So
I don't think so.
Well, I don't think so. I like it.
Next up, we got Maurice Green and Marcos Rodrigo de Lima. Maurice Green is 9-5 record. He is 6'7" with an 82-inch reach. De Lima 17-7-1. He is 6'1" with a 75-inch reach. So Maurice Green, as he is at every fight, is just huge. He's just a big man.
Yeah, but De Lima is actually, dude, he weighed in at 264.5.
Woo. Did he really? Yeah.
He weighed in all the way at the limit, pretty much, besides a half pound. He cuts down to get under that weight. Mo Green, good for him. He looks like he's in phenomenal shape. Only weighs in at 237, which, but it's hard. Mo Green needs this win.
He does. He needs it bad. And I don't know if needing a win bad is a good enough reason to do it, because De Lima is kind of a monster. It'll be interesting to see for me what happens here, but I will go ahead and say, man, this is kind of crazy. De Lima used to fight at 205 in the UFC. I don't like that.
He used to fight at 205. 2017, he fought OSP at 205. He laid off from 2017 to, he took about 18, 19 months off and moved up from light heavyweight to heavyweight. And then he went from 205 to 253. And now he's all the way up to pushing the limits. You know what? I think that just swung my pick. I think I'm going Mo Green here as an underdog.
How about Mo Green by submission? Plus 655.
Yeah, I love that because I am going to say this. Look at his losses.
Yeah.
Augsburg Romanov forearm choke, which is a weird choke, but got choked out.
Got it done. Yeah.
Steven Struve, big, tall, long guy, arm triangle choke. Okay. Go down to loss before that. OSP, long guy, Von Flu choke. Next guy, Augerlovie, guillotine choke. He's very susceptible to getting these chokes and getting choked.
That's how he loses. If you look at all of his fights,
rear naked choke. All of his fights are pretty much every single one of his losses is by some sort of choke in the UFC.
I was actually going to go with De Lima, but after looking at that,
Mo Green, he is good. His jiu-jitsu's good.
No, he just had a win by submission.
Jean Vallant.
That choke modified choke from the bottom. Yeah.
I mean, it was a garbage choke, but yeah.
I don't hate it. I'll take the 6-1 odds. Almost 7-1 odds.
Yeah. Right. I'm going to go with my guy, the crochet boss.
You know what? I had Mo Green starred on my list and I'm staying with it, especially after that.
I like that.
I like it. All right. Next up, we got Neal Magny versus Jeff Neal. Neal Magny is 24-8, 6'3" with an 80-inch reach. And Jeff Hands of Steel Neal, 13-3, 5'11" with a 75-inch reach. This is another banger of a fight, I think.
This for me is the fight that I'm the most looking forward to, because I think the winner of this fight has a real claim to, now I need to fight somebody inside the top 6 of that mess of a welterweight division.
Yeah.
Both of these guys coming off dominating losses. though.
Interesting. Yeah,
Jeff
very
Neal,
interesting.
Jeff Neal pretty much got picked apart and pieced up by Wonder Boy his last fight. And Neal Magny basically got blanked and controlled by Michael Chiesa, who interestingly enough is being thrown around as in the next line for Usman as a title contention. And, you know, we know Usman and Covington's going to happen, but the way that Chiesa controlled Neal Magny cannot go unrecognized here. And what's interesting with Michael Chiesa, and I know that this isn't his fight, but the interesting thing with Michael Chiesa is, no, I feel like he's the guy that's like, oh, that guy's not legit, but nobody wants to fight him. He kind of has a hard time getting fights.
He does. He really does.
I mean, he only fights about once a year. But listen to the last 4 guys he's fought. Finished Carlos Conduit, beat the brakes off Diego Sanchez, beat RDA, and then beat Neal Magny. And he's not just beating him, he's blanking him.
Yeah. He's a tough matchup for anybody.
He's the last guy that beat Benelli Dararouche.
So does he – I mean, you got to think the winner of the Burns and Thompson is next up for the shot, whoever wins.
I think so, but I think the loser of that could have to fight one of these guys.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a really good fight. If I am Neal Magny, though, I'm all for like fighting your fight and your plan. But if I'm Neal Magny, I think Wonder Boy kind of laid out the book of like, use your front kick, create space, don't let Jeff Neal get inside and land those big power shots on you.
Yeah.
Neal is a big, long, rangy welterweight.
Dude, he's 6'3".
He's got 4 inches.
6'3" at 170.
Really good. Here's the other thing with Neal Magny. He doesn't get finished, really. Santiago Ponzinibbio, I mean, he's a tough out too. I mean, he's gotten finished a few times, but he's a freaking tough out, man. And I like Neal Magny actually a lot in this fight, and I'm taking the underdog Neal Magny.
I thought we were going to disagree.
Oh, are you on Neal Magny too?
Yeah, remember I texted you when the fight announced, and I'm like, there's something about Neal Magny. I don't know why I like him in this fight.
So many people are so high on Jeff Neal, and they talk about him a lot as like a future title contender, and he might be, but I see him more as a lifetime gatekeeper than a perennial contender. Yeah,
and this, I mean, no knocking him at all, because he's obviously at an elite level, but I'm kind of I got to side with you on this. He does. Like he
has holes.
Magny, he has the height, he has the reach. If he can keep it on the outside, where they this is in Vegas. So we're in the smaller octagon too.
Okay. His 3 pro losses, right? Stephen Thompson fights super long and rangy.
Yep.
Kevin Holland,
super long
and rangy. And then some guy named Martin Sano, who was the same size as him. He's in Bellator, hasn't fought for a while, but yeah, I mean, I think those long rangy guys that can use their length can have a lot of success against Jeff Neal, and Neal Magny. That's this guy. I like Neal Magny a lot in this fight, actually.
All right, we're on it. We're taking the underdog
by decision.
By decision. Let me look at this. Look at this. Neal Magny wins inside the distance. Magny wins by decision, plus 270.
I love that.
Not bad odds. I like it. All right, next up we got Donald Cowboy Cerrone fighting on short notice Alex Morono, the great white Morono. Donald Cerrone, 36-15 record, 6'1" with a 73-inch reach, and Morono is coming in with an 18-7 record, 5'11" with a 72-inch reach. Dude, Cerrone, been there, done that.
Cowboy gonna cowboy.
Cowboy is gonna freaking cowboy. This is in my opinion, a super, super tough short notice fight for him to take because Morono's tough.
Morono's tough, but I have a question for you. What kind of shape do you think that Morono's in?
Well, he took the fight. I think he's in good enough shape to take the fight.
Okay, but you have to understand risk reward, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't fought in 6 months. He wasn't signed to fight. Is he fighting just because, hey, it's short notice. If I lose, I lost to Donald Cerrone. Who cares? If I win, I get a win over Donald Cerrone.
Could very well could be.
You know what I mean? Like I think short notice fights, it's all about risk reward.
Yeah.
It's all about risk reward. And this is a very good situation for Alex Morono to be in because the risk reward is very low risk, right? If you lose, who cares?
Yeah.
You lost on a week's notice to somebody that's, I think, second only to Frankie Edgar of more cage time in the UFC, or Clay Guida, or one of those. Like, it's like those. He's like with those guys. He's been in there forever. Nobody has more bonuses. Nobody has more performance of the night bonuses, knockouts, all that. Like freaking Cerrone. And it's not like Cerrone's just chilling. He's
active. He had 3 fights last year.
Yeah.
And he should be.
You ready for this?
He should be on a win streak because that Nico Price fight he won, I thought.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
They both lost to Anthony Pettis.
Yep.
Last year.
Yep.
Or was that Morono's this year? Morono's might have been this year. No,
but
it was last year.
But it's like he's sitting there talking about, he's like, yeah, I'm on a 4-fight losing streak. Like, I need this win. He lost to Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje, Conor McGregor, Anthony Pettis. All of them have had UFC 155 gold around their waist.
Crazy.
It's like
crazy.
Okay, dude. But all of them, interim champ, former champ. It's like, okay, nobody's mad. I mean, you go look at the guys he loses to. Leon Edwards. Guess what? The guy's beating everybody. Darren Till. Okay, he's ginormous. Like the fact that Cerrone should have never been in there with Till.
No.
Cerrone's a 155er. Till was a 185er, and somehow they both fought at 170. Robbie Lawler, who cares? Jorge Masvidal, who cares? Like RDA, he lost RDA, who cares? Like he just loses to just murderers. And oh, by the way, he beats his own handful of them. So this is what's really interesting about Cowboy, and I'm stealing this from Chell because Chell pointed this out on the show. People don't even recognize it. So Cowboy is talking about just being 155 and making one last run at that 155 title.
Yeah.
And nobody has the balls to say it to him or whatever. And not that my opinion matters, but dude, you're not sniffing 155 title. Like you're just not. I'm sorry.
No.
But here's the other thing. He's like, nope, I'm going to be a 155er and just go for it. In today's day and age and element of the UFC, winning fights at 170 doesn't backslide him all at 155. We just saw Conor calling for a 155 title fight after beating Donald at 170.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. Guess what? All that matters is wins, dude. It doesn't even matter the weight class. Look at freaking Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz beats Leon Edwards. You ready for this? Nate Diaz beats Leon Edwards. He gets to pick which title he wants to go for, 155 or 170 after that.
Isn't that crazy? Even Usman's talking about if he wins, he's in the conversation. I'm like, how are
nuts.
you going to pick Nate over Colby? Get out of here with that. Get out of
nuts. Here. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying I agree with it. I think you know where I'm going at with this. Yeah. But that's the state we're in with the UFC and in MMA.
Yep.
Donald Cerrone beats Alex Morono. Okay. He wins that fight. He gets one more big win at either 155 or 170.
He could be, yeah.
Hey, is this so far-fetched? Is it so far-fetched that if he wins this fight and Conor loses the Dustin Poirier rematch, that Cowboy and Conor run it back again?
That would be fun. I wouldn't hate that.
You know what I mean?
Like, and
then if he turns the tide and beats Conor, now you're right in the mix at 155.
I don't see it happen, but
well, neither do I. But I'm just saying, like,
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
the scenarios are there. Like, don't.
Yeah.
Here's the beauty. I'm going to say this, and I am stealing this from Chael. Donald Cerrone's the original Chimaev.
He really is. Yeah.
I'll fight you this way or this way. I don't care. Sign it up. Let's go. You want me to fight back-to-back weeks? Let's go. Let's do it. You know, Donald's like the original guy. Everybody's talking about Chimaev and how awesome it is. He's like, hey, this guy's been doing it for 15 years in the UFC.
It's crazy.
I love Donald Cerrone. I'm picking Donald Cerrone. I like where his head's at. I listened to his post-fight or his pre-fight press conference. He knows he's a slow starter. So I don't know if you heard this, but he said, we're going to legit like basically spar for 2 rounds in the back so that I can get that the slow start is I'm going to leave the slow start in the back and I'm going to come out and I'm grit my teeth and I'm going to be cowboy. And I like that mentality. If he could come out and be aggressive and not be a slow starter, like we saw what he did remember what he did to Hernandez, Alexander Hernandez.
Yes.
Right. Hernandez talked all that smoke about how he's retired. He was done. I'm going to put you away and this and that. And Cowboy came out on that fight on fire and he put it on him. Same thing with Mike Perry. Came out on fire, armbarred him first round. Like when he comes out on fire, he is super dangerous. And if he comes out it's like, how about this? Either I think Cowboy finishes him in the first or the second, or he gets completely obliterated. I don't know which.
I don't hate it.
I'll take Cowboy.
All right. I'm following you on that one. I like it. I like his mindset. I like where he's at.
And if I'm betting with my heart here a little bit, or picking with my heart, so be it, because he's freaking Donald Cerrone.
He's Donald Cerrone.
And he's earned it. I'm sorry. It's like he's OG status for me. It's the same thing as like Cub Swanson. Like, I don't want to pick against these guys. Like, we don't know how much longer we're going to get to watch these guys. And I freaking love Donald Cerrone.
Yeah, I want to see at least one more after
this. Did you watch the submission underground that he did with RDA?
No, I missed it.
Okay. So little backstory on that for people that don't know. His last competition he did was Chael Sonnen's submission underground.
Yeah.
This is how cool Donald Cerrone is. Arm bars RDA. Ref calls it. And RDA goes, hey, I never tapped. And Cerrone goes, well, I don't want to win like that. If you saying you don't tap, like, okay, let's just do it again.
Yeah.
And the ref didn't know what to do. And Cerrone's like, no, if he believes he didn't tap, like, okay, like,
yeah,
let's do it. Let's do it. Freaking arm bars him for real. Like, it gets the tap, like a for sure tap.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. I didn't see that.
That's cool, man. Like, how many guys win and then the other guy complains and he's like, oh, no. Like, we could do it again. Like, it's fine.
Yeah. I love Donald Cerrone, dude. Love him.
It sounds like he's taking this fight camp super serious.
Well, I think he has to, because I think if he takes an L here, he might be taking an L.
But you got to remember, he wanted that Diego fight bad.
He would have smashed Diego.
And I would have paid to watch it. He's the first person to publicly call out Diego for being gay on that interview.
He did, didn't he?
Because Diego said, yeah, that first time I rolled with Joshua, he tapped me in 40 seconds. And Cowboy goes, I don't know if he tapped him. He might have tapped him in a different way, if you know what I mean. And I was like, oh, geez. He's going, what? Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Hey, if Diego's gay, more power to him. I don't care.
Yeah. Do your thing. To each his own.
Kind of interesting.
Main event time. We got Marina Rodriguez versus Michelle the Karate Hottie Waterson. Rodriguez is what's that?
Can we just take a second and just complain a little?
Yeah. What do you want to complain about? Diego Sanchez and Diego Ferreira or whatever his name is.
No, Marina Rodriguez and Michelle Waterson is the main event. I'm sorry. Let Donald Cerrone be the main event. Let Neal Magny and Jeff Neal be the main event. Let Diego Ferreira or Gregor Gillespie be the main event. Why is Marina Rodriguez and Michelle Waterson the main event?
Because of Marina Rodriguez. Marina Rodriguez is the reason it's the main event, because they're thinking she's the next thing. She's the next big thing.
Oh, is Marina jumping past Joanna and Wei Li and straight to Rose anytime soon?
No, but I think she gets a fight with one of them after this.
Oh, you're already saying she just beats Michelle Waterson.
Yeah, I'm saying it right now. She might even finish her. I don't even know if this goes to a decision.
You're picking against the Karate Hottie?
I am going against my rules, my tapology. I'm going against, yeah. But
Gosh.
The main reason is I don't like Waterson coming up to fight at 125. I don't think she's a 125 girl, and I think Rodriguez is going to be too much for her.
I could make an argument that Michelle should be fighting at 105 if that was a division in the UFC. She's tiny.
Yeah, and to go up to one, and yeah, what's the? I didn't read the stats here, but yeah, Rodriguez 5'6", 65-inch reach. Waterson's only 5'3" with a 62-inch reach. So she's at a huge, not huge, but 3 inches in height and 3 inches in reach.
Waterson's beaten some good girls though.
She has, but not at 125.
No, not at 125. You're right.
I mean, if I am going on Tapology, she wins.
You stop it.
Marina Rodriguez definitely takes the L on Tapology.
Jason,
stop it. This is MMA podcast, not Jason's.
Gosh.
Tapology pitcher podcast. So what do you like? What do you see in this one? Because I'm obviously on Rodriguez, and I actually think she finishes her.
Yeah, I think Rodriguez wins too.
Do you think she finishes her? Or do you think it goes to decision like they all like? Is this 5? This is 5 rounds, right? Yeah, 5 rounds.
Oh my gosh. I hope it's a finish. I don't need to see 5 rounds of that.
Rodriguez by TKO is plus 340.
Oh, I kind of like that.
I don't hate that at all. Rodriguez inside the distance plus 250. I'd like that. You might see that going down.
Yeah.
I like that. Rodriguez by unanimous decision plus 225. Yeah, I don't know how Waterson gets it done, man. I mean, I love Waterson. This is no disrespect to Waterson because she's one of my favorites. I think this is a big step up for her. Marina Rodriguez, I think, is just on a different level. I mean, she knocks out freaking Amanda Ribas. She loses a split decision to Carla Esparza. Has a draw with Cynthia Calvillo. Beats Tisha Torres. Yeah.
I'm not mad at it, dude. I get it. It's that's a tough one. That is a tough one.
So we're both on Rodriguez then? Right on.
I'm just a fan of Michelle Waterson. I think she's really cool. I thought her journey, because she wanted to be the first ever UFC champion mom, which I thought was really cool until Amanda Nunes ruined it for her, that dream of being the first. But
yeah,
I mean, I don't know, man.
I mean, as far as who's been in there with the better competition, Waterson has the better competition. She's fought Joanna, Carolina Kowalski, Felice Herrig, Courtney Casey, Tisha Torres, Rose. I mean, she's losing to the majority of them, but she's still been in there with the higher level competition. Like you said, you could make an argument that she should be fighting at 105 and she's going to be stepping up to 125.
Right.
So, anyways.
Right.
DraftKings?
Yep. I got
you getting it ready right now?
Oh, it's ready, and I love it.
Let's hear it.
All right, so we're going Donald Cerrone, Cowboy gonna Cowboy, Gregor Gillespie, big underdogs in the Crochet Boss, Mo Green, and Neal Magny. And then we're going to round it off with 2 expensive ladies, Amanda Ribas.
Okay.
And Marina Rodriguez. I mean, it's money.
I like it.
It's money.
I like it.
It's going to cash.
It usually does. Yeah, man. Well, enjoy the fights. We've got Bellator tonight, UFC tomorrow, Fierce Fight Championship in a week. And then shortly after that, we're back in the Steel Fist cage, June 18th, right? Is it the 18th? Yeah, June 18th. Man, we got lots of good fights coming up. We're not going to be out of a job. That's for damn sure. Can we call this a job though? We don't get paid. It's not really a job when we don't get paid, right? All right, we'll let you guys get out of here, and we will talk to you guys Monday morning for the recap.
Sounds good.
We out. Bye.